Hello folks, and welcome to Saving Miller. Today I wanted to make a video showing you how we raise our ducks, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. So let's take a look at how we have things set up. We'll talk about the ducks a little bit, and we'll see what's going on. So we have a flock of 13 ducks. We have 2 drakes and the rest are females, and we originally have some that are about a year, almost a year and a half old. We bought them from someone locally when they were a couple of months old. So those 3 were the original Anconas that we had, and we put them with the chickens because there were only 3, and we put them in this coop. Now, all of the ducks come from Cackle Hatchery. I know there are small breeders out there that have better quality ducks than Cackle does, but we wanted black and white only, so all of them are black and white. We had a total of 18 ducklings that we got from Cackle, and they were all black and white. So that's what we went with. I think there are better options, but I wanted to sort of disclose that. So the first thing, make sure that you do select good stock. Get your ducks from someone who has a breeding program, knows what they're doing, and at least has some defined parameters so that we can really support the breed and hopefully get it registered soon. So the second thing is Anconas do well on fresh pasture. So try to make so that they have fresh grass as often as possible. We rotate these ducks around, we have about 2 acres of grass here, and we rotate them. So their coop is on new grass every single day, and every couple of days we move the fence and we go through the pasture. We have the fence for 2 reasons. We want them to sort of focus on an area, clean it up, do their thing, fertilize it, and then we move them to a fresh area. And that seems to work really well. So they stay quite healthy because of that. The third thing that is very important is that we have a coop that works well for ducks. And so I mentioned that initially we put them in with the chickens, and that did not work well. Ducks do not like to be elevated like that. It was difficult to get them in at night. We primarily put them in at night because of predators. So that's the goal. So after we had the issues initially, I decided I have to design a coop that is specific for our ducks, and we want a flock about this size. And so I built this, and I designed it for them. One of the important things is that instead of putting a typical coop door on that's small, I made the door big, and I made so that it kind of creates a natural place for them to enter the coop. And so this works really, really well for us. We've got laying boxes. Let's come and take a look right here. We've got laying boxes in the back of it, and right now there's a couple of them in there. We made those, fairly low so that the ducks could easily get in and out. And they're pretty good about laying in the boxes, although today we have an egg on the ground. The next thing that is really important for ducks, the 4th thing, is that they have good feed. Feed is extremely important. I would highly, highly encourage you to not buy it from your local Tractor Supply or feed store. Find a source of good, non-GMO, soy-free feed, and make sure that it has adequate niacin. I know there's lots of debates about this. I know of people who have said Cackle's ducks are not good. We've had no issues, but we also raised them from very tiny ducks on good feed. So initially we were feeding Scratch and Peck, and then we transitioned to New Country Organics. And I think this is a good quality feed for them, and it should provide the nutrients that they need that they can't get on pasture. We love this stuff, and the chickens and the turkey like it too. So we give them free access, and between all the 8 chickens, the turkey, and the 13 ducks, this is how much feed they've eaten over several days. This is a total of roughly a 30-pound feeder. So they just don't eat much. They get the majority of their nutrition from the grass, from the pasture. The 5th thing that is really important is to come up with a way to provide water that is effective and reliable. So we never have only one water source. for night and just for drinking, we have these cups here. They're fairly deep, they work pretty well, but we have to clean them every day. They do make a mess in there. And we have 30 gallons, well, about 25 gallons of water on there, so it stays fresh all the time as they drink. We just have to clean the cups because they do put dirt in there. However, that's sort of the backup supply for us. We have a couple of tubs and a kiddie pool that we fill every day to make sure that they have cool water, especially during the summer. And if you have just one duck, one of these little tubs actually would work quite well. We have several, so we have two of the tubs that we keep full, and on the hot days we put ice in there, and then the kiddie pool over there where multiple ducks can get in and splash around and be happy. They don't actually need a lot of water, I don't think. I think the Anconas are pretty good with a fairly small amount of water, but every 2 weeks when we flood the pasture, they do get to swim. So, well, about every week or two, it varies a little bit. But at least that often, you know, they've got standing water where they can swim around and dig. So we're really pleased with these ducks. We think our flock has turned out well. I don't know if you can pick them out, but the two drakes are in there. I do want to mention that your coop and even the way you raise the ducks should be climate specific. So this coop is designed for warm weather. It's open on the front and the back so the airflow can move through here and this way. However, I put some solid panels on the back to kind of give them, you know, a visual shelter, and they seem to like that pretty well. If you're in a cold area, obviously this would not be suitable. They would need much more protection from the cold. But here it's warm year round, so, or relatively warm. So this is designed more for the summer heat than it is for, you know, winter cold and snow and things like that. So that's what we do with our ducks. We think it works well. We run them with the chickens, and we have a turkey in here. And the turkey, interestingly enough, thinks that the ducks are his family. He takes care of them, he guards them. I know everybody says don't do this, but we had zero problems, and clearly he survived. Turkeys start very, very small, and he ran with the ducks when they were ducklings. They were hatched the same day. And we think that relationship actually worked out really well. This is a bourbon red heritage turkey. So very, very tiny. Right now it's about the same size as the ducks.
That's
these things
a turkey?
are trying to hop out.
It's a poult, right? It's a baby turkey?
Oh. So I would encourage you, I think a mixed flock like this is just fine. Some people say don't do it, but this works really well for us. They do tend to eat a little bit differently, and so it's also good for the pasture. They'll eat different bugs, and they'll eat different seeds and things. So that's what we do. Hopefully that's helpful to you. And I'm sure you may have checked out some of our other videos on our ducks. So if you're interested, you can go back and look at those. I'll leave a link to the video about the coop that I did a while ago. So good luck, and Saving Miller out.